and welcome to In the Lab with me, Mr. Walker, and again we've got Mr. Thomas.
Hi Mr. Walker, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you very much. And I've got a little model for you that I don't think you've seen before. Maybe you have, but if you have, I don't know if you know how it works. And I'm quite sure some people watching won't know either. So if you'd like to come a little bit closer, camera, have a look at this, because it looks a little bit strange. There's three chains and it's being held up. How does it work, sir? What do you think?
Yeah, it's quite peculiar, isn't it? So these are real chains, right?
Yeah, they're real chains. There's no trick in looking like it's something else.
So
they are literally.
If I was to detach it, it would collapse.
Yeah, it's just a collapsible chain that you might tie something up with.
Okay,
Of course, it's Lego, so you wouldn't tie anybody up with it, but it is actually just a normal little chain, yeah.
Okay, so chains can really only pull, they can't push or hold something up. So, I mean, we can work our way around. So what's this chain doing right here, sir?
That is the key to the whole thing. As you quite correctly said, chains would normally collapse. If you held something up with chains, it's not going to push upwards at all. You'd expect the whole thing just to collapse. But this is how it works. Come in again and I will show you. Gravity is pushing downwards. And if I were to push with my hand, I'd also be pushing downwards. What you'd expect is for these chains to just collapse. Under normal gravity, these chains would just collapse and everything above it would just fall to the bottom. But there's something opposing the force of these two chains. Basically, it's this one here. So as I push on the top, these two chains would want to shorten, but this chain, if I push down, it would push the bottom of this bit down as well, and it would start to stretch that chain. So that chain is not going to get any longer than it is. A chain is a fixed length. So even though these would collapse, that can't possibly get any longer. That means I can push all I want and gravity acts as much as it can and it stays exactly like that. If I were to take the top and I were to pull and I were to lift it, these two chains would be stretched. They wouldn't be able to move any further. So I could try and lift it. These would not stretch. This chain would want to collapse because the bottom part would obviously move closer to the top. The chain would get shorter, but these two are stopping it. So I can't pull it up and I certainly can't push it down. I can show you what happens actually. If I try and push, it might wobble. You can see it's just a chain, look. I'm pushing on it. These are trying to get shorter. That one is not letting it. If I lift it, it's just not happening. These are straining. That one's trying to get shorter. Nothing is happening. So in perfect opposition to each other, we've got upward and downward forces. Perfectly balanced. Now I can do this. I can twist it. I can twist it this way. I can twist it that way. I can move it in other directions because there's nothing stopping that other movement. But I can't move it up and down because the up and down forces are directly opposed. And this is called a model of tensile strength. You can buy them yourself, you can create them, you can make them out of Lego as we did from a pre-made kit you can buy online. It's a nice little thing, gives you a conversation point, and it involves a lot of science, especially in the topic of forces. What do you think of that, sir? Do you like it?
That is fantastic.
It's a good one, isn't it? Well, we'll have a look at some other fun stuff in a later video, so bye for now.
Bye.